Hey, thanks so much, Jonathan. I really appreciate you joining us here today. This is actually a first. Have not really ever done this before, so I apologize for everyone if there's any technical difficulties, if quite literally you're all just seeing a blank screen. Sorry, but we think we're working on it here. And just so you folks know, what we've asked John to do here is come together and give us an update with everything going on out there. And correct me if I'm saying this incorrectly. Antigua, is that how you say it? Antigua, Wisconsin?
It's Antigo, Wisconsin.
Antigo, Wisconsin. Everything going on with, those seven mechanics, that shop. I know I sent you a bit of a list of, things folks might want to know, but I think it'd be cool to get an update out for everyone who's either given or been questioning whether or not to give on this, whether directly to the GoFundMe page of this post, which there have been some amazing sponsors that have given into the raffle. That's all going to benefit the mechanics. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to you and let you talk a little bit about what it is that you guys wanted to say.
Okay, so we had a fire up in the Northwoods a couple of weeks ago, and it was at a transmission shop. So they did everything on automobiles from front end work but they specialized on transmissions. They actually serviced an area of about 200 miles in radius from their area. They did a lot with transmissions for everyone in the Northwoods. So many people have reached out to me to find out where to get their transmissions done now that this one is gone. It was our number one transmission repair shop in the Northwoods.
Oh, wow.
So with the fire, the seven mechanics and the shop owner lost everything, but we're concentrating on the mechanics because the shop owner has insurance and that is covered.
Okay.
The big questions everyone has out there is why isn't the shop owner's insurance covering the mechanics?
Yeah.
Well, we've done a lot of research into this, and unless a mechanic actually had his tools cataloged, pictured, so that it goes through the shop owner's insurance or the shop owner provided it, there's no insurance for a mechanic out there for their tools. It's
Wow.
actually their own responsibility. Now, everyone says, well, isn't homeowners insurance going to cover it? Well, that's not the case, because with homeowners, if it's located off of premises, homeowners does not cover any of the personal tools that's in a shop. So
Wow.
the mechanic really gets a catch-22 that's absolutely horrible, that they are responsible for their tools in a shop, but they don't have a lot of insurance they're at. Out of the 400 shops that I deal with, we only have one shop that actually catalogs tools on a yearly basis to cover insurance for those employees. It's super rare to have tool insurance for the employees.
Yeah.
So that was one of the biggest things that I got from this week of how little happens for guys with insurance or not having insurance. And it's a question that most guys never go into a shop and say, are my tools insured?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
It's definitely something that we have to look at in the future. But I also wanted to bring this kind of down to a personal level. I'm just going to pick on one guy from the transmission shop. So we've got 7 employees. They range from 22 years old up to 62 years old. So we've got a 22-year-old, 2 24-year-olds, a 36, a 38, and a 58, and a 62. Now, the guys don't want to be mentioned by name, and it's out of privacy, and I respect that 100%.
Yeah.
But I am going to focus on one guy. He's 38 years old. He's married, 2 boys, 13 and 15 years old. His family's actually paying for them to get from middle of Wisconsin over to Minnesota so that he can be there for Thanksgiving. The outpouring of support has been huge, but as you know, if we don't work hard at things, we don't get to where we need to get. Realize that of these 7 guys, they're used to a $600 or $700 paycheck a week. They're now on unemployment and they're down to $300 a week. And that barely covers rent, mortgage, utilities. It's an absolute crusher at this time of year.
Wow.
So
that is definitely a lot going on there, and wow, we just truly amazed at how you were able to put all of this together, and definitely the information on such a short notice that you're putting together here is amazing, and I'm sure those guys are very grateful to you.
Well, I've talked to the shop owner, and I told him, I says, you have insurance, you're covered. You'll be taken care of. You're going to rebuild, and he will come out of it just fine. I says, but in the short term, we have to concentrate on the mechanics because they lost their job. They lost their tools. Now, without the tools, they also lost their ability to get a job because they don't have any tools to go into a place and say that they're ready to go. All of these guys are very good technicians. They can walk in and say, yes, I can do this job. But without having the tools, it's very difficult to get the job. Aside of the monetary thing, the big thing is you don't really think about, how much money goes out at this time of year. So that's kind of what we're focusing on to make sure that these guys are taken care of. We've been working hand in hand with different businesses in the area to try and find them jobs. We were able to connect with one. One has since got a job,
Oh,
but
that's
it's not
awesome.
what he was doing. So he is now a tow truck driver, but he really wants to be back in the mechanic field. Um, all seven of them have expressed to me that yes, they want to go back into the mechanic field. We do have one 62-year-old that he said, boy, I could retire, but my wife's going to kill me. So he's going to try and get right back into it, and ride out the last 3 years. But
Yeah.
at 62 years old, think about it this way. He has been collecting tools for 42 years. And that is an amazing amount. Rough guess is we're estimating it is between $30,000 and $75,000 worth of tools lost. And that is straight up lost. They are not going to have any of that covered.
Yeah.
We're asking for a $20,000 on the GoFundMe page, and that's just a fraction of what's really needed.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Wow. That is actually, that's more than I had thought. I knew when you and I spoke over the phone, we mentioned probably about 20,000 per technician, but you're right. I mean, these guys have been collecting tools for years. Maybe there's even things in there that aren't made anymore. How can you get that back? Um,
Correct.
wow, that's really a shame, and that it kind of leads me, and not that it's the most important thing, but did they ever figure out how the fire started?
It's all speculation because it was such a hot fire and they had to knock it down. They came in with a um, biggest extend a whole backhoe and they knocked a bunch of stuff over. There's no
Oh,
true cause to how it happened.
wow.
Everyone's speculating that it could be electrical, it could be um, a heater in the shop, something like that. It happened, thankfully, I believe it was at 5:45 in the morning before anyone was there because the guys started at 7, and it was an amazing fire. The heat from this generated. When you look at the pictures for the tools, even in closed locked toolboxes, everything is melted. There is not one tool that we've found yet that is truly salvageable because it heat treated everything to the point that if they would take a socket, an impact socket, and put it on an impact wrench to try and take a tire, I guarantee that it isn't just going to shatter. It's that high of a heat that happened. But they had
Wow.
lots of transmission fluid, lots of, you think about oxygen acetylene, the torch sets, they're all in there. Everything
Yeah.
that was combustible went. So, and it was a complete loss for the guys.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's just absolute nuts. And, our hearts go out to them. And that's kind of why we're helping spread the word as best we can here. We definitely want to help out with that because we know that, I mean, time of the year alone, like this is not an easy time for that, but this is their livelihoods that they literally just had go up in smoke. And so, everything you're doing, and I do have a list here that you sent me of folks we want to give shout outs to, before we wrap up. But I just, you know, gosh, that is just insane. And I'm so grateful for what you're doing here.
Give back when you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I do have the list of sponsors that you sent me the other day of folks that have come forward to help out. Before I read that off, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about or bring up or ask, the general public out here? I know we probably only have about 20 people watching right now, but that number will grow throughout the day as the recording gets replayed.
Sure.
Um,
Um, I run my own Snap-on franchise. It's called Northwoods Tools.
Okay.
I cover an amazing area. I've got 3,000 different customers that we see on a weekly basis. I never want to see any of my guys go through this again.
Yeah.
So please help with what you can. The donations, the raffles, Josh from Curian, I cannot thank you enough.
Yeah.
It's been truly amazing.
Well, we're just here to help, and whether it's through this organization independently or however, we're going to try and do our best to do what we can here. And to your point on your guys, yeah, you got 3,000. That's a pretty darn decent customer base. But there's a lot more folks out there. We estimate there's around about a million and a half mechanics in the U.S. And to your point, I have no idea what the insurance coverage numbers are. But I do know we have a partner of ours, a friend of ours, Chuck Eagleston out of Utah. He runs an all-state office there. And I've been talking to him about this, what is tool insurance? How do folks, get that? I'm hoping to do another broadcast like this with him where he can kind of go over tool insurance, and definitely we can bring you back in on it. But to your point, mechanics, you guys need tool insurance. That's literally your livelihoods tied up in that box. And if there's a fire and in just like a situation like this where insurance isn't going to cover you from the building or the facility, or you had homeowners and you thought it was covered and it's not, that all goes up in smoke. And don't get me wrong, like we'd love to try and help if that happened to you too, but this kind of thing doesn't happen every day, nor could it per se. And so I've asked Chuck to throw together some info, and hopefully we can pin it in the post down below, on how to get tool insurance. Hopefully we'll get a Q&A, but definitely leave your guys' questions in the comments here, and we can try to do another little video on that after the fact. So, I mean, not that we'll get anything from it. It's just out here to help you and get you guys the info you would need. So, okay.
Yeah, Josh, you
Anything?
nailed it. And as the week goes on, I'm going to try and focus on, we'll do another video, and we're going to focus on each different guy. We got one guy done, 38 years old, married, 2 kids, house, mortgage. I mean, you think about that, it's just one person. There's
Yeah.
6 more.
Yeah, exactly. I just to give a quick update, I guess we, as of this morning, I think we have $1,300 in raffle tickets purchased. Now, because of the way PayPal works, we've only got $300 of that right now. It's waiting for, like, I guess, a 7-day period to pass before we get the money. But once we get that, we'll get with you and figure out where to send it directly. I think on the GoFundMe as of this morning, we were at $1,900. So that's a little over $3,000 we've got there. So I know with Thanksgiving coming up, is there a way to distribute that to you guys quickly? Or are we trying to help anybody have a Thanksgiving dinner here? Or is that all covered for the guys?
The way I look at it is if we can get the numbers up on the GoFundMe, we will make sure that everyone's taken care of.
Okay.
I'll dive into my pocketbook to make sure that they're taken care of off the GoFundMe right away, because I know that there is a lag of about 7 days to withdraw funds, but we will make sure that it's taken care of for Thanksgiving.
Perfect. And I will pledge the same thing for our raffle page. I know it's good for it. So, even if it wasn't, I'll go ahead and fund that to you. Let me know how to get it to you directly, and we'll get that taken care of.
We can do that. I'd also like to send a shout out. I know my shop owners aren't going to be watching this, but I had one shop owner. He challenged the rest of my shop owners and said, here's my $100. If all of you guys aren't doing this, there's a problem. And the outpouring support has been huge in the Northwoods. We have collected additional money on top of the GoFundMe page. It's one of those unreported things. So I want to put it out there that, yeah, we have more that's happening. But honestly, guys, there's not enough to go around.
No, with 7 full families, that there's quite a lot that we need to do, and we're not going to stop here. I know the raffle, we're going to be doing it until the 18th of December or $20,000 bust, and obviously it could go past that. But at least until the 18th of December is we're going to do the raffle. And on the raffle, we've had actually quite an awesome amount of outpouring from some manufacturers, even independent tool dealers. Brian, and I hope I'm saying this right, Tootie or Tutier of Forestville, California, has given a Milwaukee 2993 half-inch impact and 3/8-inch impact kit as a raffle prize. Tooldom Tools has given a 3/8 extended reach ratchet with an M12 battery, a M12 angled die grinder with an M12 battery. And I think he's also throwing in a couple toolbox widgets for that. We've had a company by the name of Bulk Beef Jerky. They're going to be giving a pack of product for, one of the prizes. Plug Phones is giving out their premier industrial line Bluetooth safety earplugs. Toolbox Widget itself has stepped up and is offering 20 kits. I think it was 14 wrench organizers and 6 screwdriver organizers as a prize. And then us at Curian, we are also going to be doing a Milwaukee M12 anvil of choice stubby impact kit as one of the prizes. So I name out the prizes just so that guys know when you buy a raffle ticket, you're going to get thrown in for some of that. So, or well, for all of it actually. So, please feel free if you're not comfortable with donating to a GoFundMe, you want to see something come back a little bit on your dollars, you have a chance at winning some of that great stuff there. And it all goes towards a good cause. And just to kind of do a couple extra shout outs, Jonathan, you mentioned to me Apex Tool Group is going to be stepping up, and we don't know what yet, but Apex Tool Group is going to step up and give what they can to help out these technicians. Streamlight has stepped up, 31 Incorporated, Beta Tools, Nipix, JPW Industries, Integrated Supply Network, Milwaukee Tool itself, Worth Tool, B Blaster, and SP Air. Beyond that, there's Super Test Corp, who messaged me directly, and they're going to be sending some equipment to Charlie Jr. there to to be able to help these mechanics get back on their feet. Beyond that, was there anyone else that you had to or wanted to give a shout out to?
Snap-on Tools as well. They have offered some amazing deals for the mechanics. The bad part is they don't have the ability to buy it right now. Snap-on Tools has instantly given them 50% off of any toolbox that they want. Wow. The problem we have is, honestly, these guys can't afford to do it right now because they don't have a job. Personally, myself, I have donated my entire tool set as a mechanic so that when a guy does land a job, he has tools to go in there right away.
Oh, so that's good.
That's the tough part. Is we got to find the jobs. In the meantime, we got to try and supplement wages and build up a tool set for all the guys. Big shout out to every last one of the tool manufacturers out there. Apex, Snap-on, you guys have been awesome. Nipex, I cannot believe the support.
Absolutely, absolutely, and there's also some folks here that we haven't mentioned, and at least on our side, there's been about 47 people who've bought raffle tickets. I noticed off of the GoFundMe, there's at least 22 people, 23 people. We haven't mentioned you by name here yet, but I'm sure we'll think of something to, to give you guys shout outs here, and we'll continue to, as you guys continue the outreach and the outpouring of blessings into these families, and I know you people, you folks who are giving aren't expecting anything in return, but as best as possible, we want to try and give you some sort of recognition for your amazing generosity during this time of the year. Well, just amazing generosity, period. And pretty cool. I think you mentioned it on a few of your posts. We've got folks in Canada. We're out here in California. There's Florida folks. There's some folks in Europe who have donated. We got a few folks in Australia who have donated. So this is becoming almost a worldwide thing, which is really, really cool that this community of auto enthusiasts and mechanics and just industrial professionals is coming together for this. So very awesome, guys.
Awesome.
Well, if you don't have anything else, John, we'll go ahead and end this and, put up a recorded version a little bit later. Anything
Perfect.
else you'd like to add before we sign off?
Josh, thank you for your time. Thank you for all the help. You've been instrumental. I pull my hair out on a daily basis trying to get everything going, and you've taken a monster load off of me to get all of the technological stuff done and help out with this. I can't thank you enough.
Oh man, well we're trying. I appreciate it, John, and we wouldn't have been here doing this without you having started it all. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye bye.